Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to Elevate for helping enable this class. We are in the Pesach red zone. The Gemara tells us that 30 days before the holiday, we learn about the holiday. And it's speaking about all the holidays, but primarily discusses about Pesach. Why? Because Pesach has a lot of halachot. There's the Seder, there's leading up to Pesach, there's the holiday itself, there's Chametz, there's baking matzah. There's a lot that goes on in the holiday of Pesach. So the Gemara tells us that 30 days before, we start studying the halachot. So I said, we have a few weeks to get ready. This week we'll, for a few minutes, introduce the 8 mitzvot that pertain to us over the holiday of Pesach. And then we'll give a short idea, based on the Sefat Emet, about these mitzvot, how they relate to our lives. So again, we know there are 613 mitzvot. Good, 613 mitzvot. 8 of them pertain to Pesach. We'll go over them very quickly right now. The Rambam, before every section, he categorizes, he brings the halachot. Before an introduction to the section, he tells us how many mitzvot there are in that section. So with the halachot of Chametz and Matzah, he writes, Yesh bichalan shmona mitzvot. There are 8 total mitzvot. Shalosh mitzvot aseh, v'chamesh mitzvot lo ta'aseh. 3 mitzvot that are positive, that are active, that are get up and do something. 5 mitzvot that are negative, lo ta'aseh. Good, and he outlines them for us. He says, Aleph, the first mitzvah is, Vehu shelo lechol chametz bayom arba'asar mechatzot hayom ve'ulhalan. The first mitzvah, believe it or not, is actually before the holiday begins. It's before the holiday, it's before the Chag. On the 14th day of Nisan, Pesach begins the 15th at night. On the 14th day of Nisan, there's a mitzvah from the Torah not to eat chametz after midday. From midday and on, if someone eats bread, not even Pesach, it's the Erev Pesach, a few hours before the Seder. If you eat chametz, that's a biblical prohibition. Very good, we'll get there. Perush vehu amru lo tochal alav chametz umilat alav hanizkar shepasuk zeh sheba lakeres haPesach she'achova beizvichato mishesh sha'ot u'mala. He brings the pasuk that quotes, that says alav chametz, referring to the korban, and that's where the Gemara derives, says the Rambam, that even from before the holiday, from the day of Pesach, meaning Erev Pesach, from afternoon and on, from Chatzot and on, the mitzvah number 1 is don't eat chametz on the 14th from Chatzot and on. Mitzvah number 2, V'u le'ashbit seor miyom miyudaled, V'u amru yitbarach, אך ביום הראשון תשביתו סוף בבתיכם וראשון דמעיקר המשמע פסוק זה הוא בפרשת החודש. Number 2, the second of the 8 mitzvot is to destroy seor, destroy chametz, again on the day before Pesach. So far 8 mitzvot about Pesach. 2 of them happen before the holiday even starts. Don't eat chametz before the holiday, destroy the chametz before the holiday as well. Number 3, Vehu shelo lechol chametz kol shiv'ah. Don't eat chametz all 7 days. So now we're back. We've entered the realm of Pesach. There's a mitzvah from the Torah. Don't eat chametz for 7 days. That means when you're in Miami, you're in New York, you're in Israel, wherever you are, don't eat bread, don't have pasta. Biblical mitzvah from the Torah not to eat chametz. Number 4, shelo lechol ta'arovet chametz. Not only is pure chametz, like bread, like pasta, not allowed, but even a mixture of chametz, even a product, a produce that has bread mixed into it. Good question. On Pesach, if that happens, it's still not allowed. But tarovet chametz, there's a rule. He's alluding to. There's a concept in halacha with mixtures. If I have exactly, that's what he's referring to. If I have a pot that's 60 liters, let's say, and 1 liter, okay, I'll use smaller measurements. 60 milliliters, a cup, 60 milliliters, and 1 milliliter. That's a cup of meat choresh, and 1 milliliter of milk dropped into it, 60 to 1, it's nullified and the food's still considered kosher.
That's what people don't waste.
No, it's the rule of nullification. The rule of Torah tells us that things are nullified in majority.
I don't know, like some people would like meat and dairy.
Very good. You can't do it. I can't do it intentionally. It's only accidentally. Good. The Gemara thought about that. Good idea, but unfortunately we can't do it. It's only accidental that happened after the fact. That's not intentional. Not know that you can't do it intentionally. That's a good one. Okay. So mitzvah number 4 is even mixture of chametz is also not allowed. Number 5, shelo yireh lecha chametz kol shiva. You can't see chametz. Chametz cannot be seen to you all 7 days. This means in your possession. I can't own it. It doesn't mean that I'm walking on the street on Middle Neck Road and there's a non-kosher bakery. I can't look. It doesn't mean I have to look away. It means that I can't see it in my possession, in my property. Number 6 is שלא יימצא חמץ בכל שבעה, והוא אמור להתברך 7 ימים שאור לא יימצא בבתיכם, הוא בפרשת החודש. Number 6 is chametz should not be found in your possession. The immediate question is, what's the difference between 5 and 6? Number 5 means you can't own it, I can't see it. Number 6 is it shouldn't be found. Very good. That's part 2. That's where I want to get to. You can't be seen and you can't own. So actually the Gemara says there's no difference. They both refer to possession. They both refer to me owning chametz. So why does Torah give us 2 mitzvot? To reaffirm, to show us the severity of chametz on Pesach.
Are you allowed
if someone owns chametz, we'll get there. Very good question. The answer is no, but I'll explain later. It's a good question. It gives 2 negative commandments to reaffirm the severity. If I own chametz, I'm getting I'm going to get punished twice, not 1 time. Severity of chametz, of Pesach, that the Torah goes out of its way to command us a second mitzvah that is the same exact thing, but we'll come back to this idea momentarily. Number 7, le'echol matzah belela Pesach. This is very important. There's a mitzvah to eat matzah on the night of Pesach. Okay? The first night, and for us in outside of Israel, the second night as well. The night of Pesach, meaning the first night of the Seder, we all have to make sure that we eat matzah. Yeah, it's only 1 night. We have 2 nights outside. But it's very important. It's a mitzvah from the Torah to have at least a kezait a few times. Minimum is 1 kezait. Make sure everyone has to teach all of their family, their parents, their moms, their dads, their siblings. Matzah is not a joke. On the night of the Seder, you have to have matzah.
1 kazai is approximately how big of a circle?
Very good. You have a circle sheet. A quarter of that is a kazai. Yeah.
If you go, let's say you're in Israel, right, on the Seder.
Yes.
You go to the first one, the Seder.
Yes.
The second Chag ends, you got to flight to Miami, right? If you get to Miami on Chag, then what do you do?
It's a very good question. It doesn't
It
necessarily
happened actually on October.
It has to, yes. It has to do where you live. If you're Israeli, then the second day of Chag is considered not mundane. If you're American, then you can't take that flight because it's Chag for me, not a fly. No, but doesn't matter. It goes after the person. It's a good question. That's why I said it depends on the person. If you own in Israel, you're there for the holiday, you keep 1 according to Rabbi Chaim.
But then when you come back,
Then you're not there for the holiday. You have to keep 2.
so you come back, you fly one, and then just start keeping it.
You can't come back. That's the point. You can't fly back on that if you're flying back on the second day of Chag. You can't keep 1 day. The whole point is you have to be there for the holiday.
Isn't it also a Chilul Hashem?
That's the second part. Yes, that's the second part. But he's not talking about that. He's talking about the keeping 1 or 2 days. It's a very good question. Yeah, it's a problem. You have to be mindful of that as well also.
Anyone will know that's a Chilul Hashem.
Doesn't matter. Chilul Hashem doesn't just mean with non-Jews. It also means between us and Hashem. It's a very good question. Anytime I do something wrong, even if no one sees, it's a Chilul Hashem. I'm desecrating the name of God because us, Jewish people, we are the army of God. And the difference between God and the rest of the world is God sees everything. So when I do something wrong that no one sees, I was still mechalel et Hashem. I was still desecrating God's name. Now, obviously, if I do something in public for people to see and for non-Jews to see, that's worse. But even privately, if I do something wrong, I'm desecrating the name of God because I am an image of God. If I do something wrong, it's a Chilul Hashem. It's a very good point. for another time. And mitzvah number 8, Vehu lesaper b'tziat Mitzrayim kol ota halayla. To say over the story of the Exodus, of leaving Egypt, the entire night. Which night? The first night of the Pesach Seder. So again, 8 mitzvot, 3 of them are positive, 5 are negative. Very important to understand. Obviously, we know don't eat Chametz. We're all aware of that. But the important ones about the Seder are to eat matzah, to say over the story of the Exodus. Those are very important. It's a mitzvah from the Torah. Good? Now, I said we'll say a short idea from the Sefat Emet about the two that we quoted. There's two mitzvot that are the same exact thing. Don't own Chametz and don't own Chametz. That's what I translated them to. But the language is Shelo yira'eh lecha Chametz. Chametz should not be seen. Velo yimatzeh becha Chametz. Velo shelo yimatzeh Chametz kol shiv'ah. It should not be found in your possession. Now, why is it double? So the Gemara just says to reaffirm the severity. The Sefat Emet gives a deeper idea. Again, this is not the simple reason. This is a deeper idea meant to teach us a lesson. It's not the Peshat, it's a deeper idea the Sefat Emet brings. He says, if we read the words carefully, what are the two psukim mentioned? Lo yimatzeh velo yira'eh. It should not be seen and it should not be found. Sefat Emet is something so profound. He says, Chametz is a symbol, is an analogy for the Yetzer Hara. Again, on a deeper level, on a simple level, Chametz is just something that's leavened, that rose the 5 grains that were mixed with water for more than 18 minutes. It's Chametz. That's a simple explanation. But the idea of Chametz is things that it represents the Yetzer Hara. It represents our evil inclination, says the Sefat Emet. And he says, why are there two? Yes. So the Chametz pertains to Passover only, but the deeper idea behind Chametz is the evil inclination. But Chametz, the idea of Chametz only applies to Passover. Right now, I don't care about Chametz. We have bread, we didn't have bread, but you can have bread. Pasta, there's no difference.
Isn't a term used year-round?
No. It's only specific to Passover. It means something that was leavened. It's a great question. They came in contact with water and flour, whether it's wheat, rye, barley, oat, spelt, whatever it is, any of the 5 grains, not rice, rice is not chametz, the 5 grains, if they mix with water for a long period of time, they become chametz. That's only we care about it on Pesach. But the Sefat Emet says the chametz on Pesach is an analogy beyond the simple meaning and the mitzvah. It's an analogy to our evil inclination. And he says something so profound. He says, why are there 2 of the same mitzvah? So he says the Gemara, we say it a bunch of times, says to reaffirm the severity of the mitzvah. But a deeper reading is, what are the words? Lo yimatzeh velo yira'eh. Yira'eh shall be seen, yimatzeh shall be found. He says, very profoundly, they represent, the 2 psukim represent the 2 types of Yetzer Hara, of imperfections we have in our character, in our personality. Lo Yira'eh is seen for everyone. The obvious example in our character is stinginess, is anger, is being stubborn, is lying, is materialism. Things that you look at this individual and everyone can see this person has a flaw. That's Lo Yira'eh. Sefat Emet says Lo Yimatzeh are things that are deep down, that they shouldn't be found. Things that only you know. Things that only come up at home with your spouse, with your parents, with your children. I always say, you want to know if someone has good, proper, refined midot? The Olam HaMidot says, it's not how he interacts with his friends or with people in public. See how he behaves at home, with his wife, with his kids, and with his parents. Because with those people he's the most comfortable with, he's not scared about his image, then the real person comes out. You want to know if someone has refined character, proper midot? You see how he behaves at home. The Sefat Emet says, the Lo Yimatzeh pasuk refers to the character traits that are hidden, that are concealed, that only you know, that only the individual, only the private person knows and can see about himself. And now he gives a beautiful explanation. Why is it the same mitzvah twice? Why does the same mitzvah appear twice in the same text? It's the same idea. Don't own chametz. Because it's telling us that part of the chag, part of the holiday, part of the idea of chametz is we have to eradicate and eliminate the imperfections that everyone sees in us, the anger, the haughtiness, the arrogance, the ga'ava, the materialism, and we have to get rid. We have to throw away. We have to destroy the bad character that no one sees. Whether it's lack of patience, whether it's anger at home, whether, God forbid, it's cursing or stubborn. And that's what the Sefat Emet explains why there's two of the same mitzvah. The simple level is to reaffirm this, how severe the prohibition is. But a deeper level is to remind us, the same way we destroy chametz, we have to look at ourselves, at our imperfections, and destroy them too. And it's a profound idea that as children we can't comprehend. But as we mature, as we grow, right now, none of us at the table besides for myself are married. But right now is when you work on having the best marriage possible. Before there's even a girl in the picture, before there's even someone I'm going after, that's when I work on myself to grow, to mature, work on my communication skills, work on my patience, work on my giving, work on my listening. Now is when you do it, because once you start dating, we get married, it's too late. So we have to take this message from the Sefat Emet. Why there are two mitzvot that are the same? To get rid of the hidden and the exposed bad traits that we have. God willing, we have an amazing Pesach, Chag Kasher v'Sameach, and we grow and to the best possible heights. Chazak u'Baruch.